People often think that disrespect comes suddenly, like a lightning strike, loud, unmistakable, and obvious. But the truth is far more subtle. Disrespect usually starts as a whisper, a small test, a glance, a comment, or a minor action that seems insignificant at first. Most people ignore these signals, assuming they're isolated incidents, harmless mistakes, or that the other person didn't mean it. But every tiny instance is actually part of a larger pattern, a psychological assessment being made against you in real time. Human brains are constantly scanning each other for signals of weakness and strength, even subconsciously. If you hesitate, over-explain, or react emotionally, you're sending the wrong signals. Your behavior communicates your value far more clearly than any words you utter. Once someone detects uncertainty, indecision, or fear of confrontation, their brain automatically adjusts the way they treat you. They start testing boundaries, pushing limits, and seeing how much they can get away with. This isn't personal, it's biological. It is how humans naturally establish hierarchies, dominance, and social order. Understanding this is crucial because without awareness, you unknowingly train people to disrespect you. Every action you take, every reaction or lack of reaction, teaches the world how to treat you. Silence, hesitation, or unnecessary explanations are interpreted as weakness, and weakness attracts disrespect. The moment you recognize this pattern, you gain a choice. Either continue to be passive and allow disrespect to accumulate, or consciously implement strategies to reclaim your power, establish boundaries, and enforce respect consistently. The difference between those who are respected and those who are ignored or dismissed isn't luck, charisma, or privilege. It's subtle mastery over these unspoken social signals. People who understand this principle don't wait for respect to appear. They demand it without asking, by the way they move, speak. Most people fail to realize that respect is not given. It is earned through consistent signals of strength, control, and self-worth. Simply being nice, polite, or agreeable does not automatically command respect. In fact, over-pleasing and over-explaining are often the quickest ways to lose it. Every time you justify your actions, apologize unnecessarily, or try to smooth over conflict, you are unintentionally communicating that your boundaries are negotiable. Human brains are wired to detect these patterns because, evolutionarily, we needed to identify who could be led and who could lead. When you fail to assert yourself, others subconsciously notice, and they adjust their behavior accordingly. This is why people who are calm, confident, and unwavering in their standards are almost universally respected, even without overt displays of power. They are consistent in what they tolerate and what they don't. They respond deliberately, not impulsively. The moment you understand that respect is a result of strategic behavior, rather than hope or wishful thinking, you unlock a powerful advantage over those who remain reactive. Setting boundaries doesn't require aggression, dominance, or intimidation. It requires clarity, timing, and self-discipline. Subtle cues like tone, eye contact, posture, and decisiveness carry far more weight than arguments or explanations. This is why many struggle. They focus on words rather than actions, trying to persuade others through logic or reasoning, when the real leverage lies in behavioral consistency and self-respect. Once you master this, disrespect becomes an anomaly, not a pattern, because the world unconsciously recalibrates its treatment of you. You stop being a target for casual violations and instead signal that you are someone whose presence, time, and energy demand acknowledgement. It's a mindset shift as much as a behavioral strategy, and it separates the passive from the truly respected. Disrespect rarely escalates randomly. It grows gradually because of tolerance and inaction. Every time someone crosses a line and you do nothing, you reinforce a subconscious rule in their mind. This behavior is allowed. It doesn't matter if it's a minor joke, a slight interruption, or an overlooked responsibility. They are all signals. If you ignore them, your brain is sending the message that your boundaries are flexible, negotiable, or meaningless. Humans are wired to test limits constantly, especially with those who appear uncertain or hesitant. The more you tolerate, the more the disrespect compounds. This is why timing is critical. Respect is enforced in the moment, not after the fact. Waiting until patterns develop, hoping the behavior will stop on its own, is the fastest way to ensure it continues. Strategic individuals recognize these early warning signs and take immediate action. Action doesn't mean confrontation, argument, or aggression. It means a calculated, deliberate response that communicates clarity, strength, and non-negotiability. For example, a single phrase like "that won't happen again" or "we don't communicate like this" carries exponentially more weight than long explanations or emotional responses. It creates a psychological reset in the other person's mind, forcing them to reassess your status and adjust their behavior. Over time, this consistent enforcement trains others to respect your boundaries automatically. You become someone whose limits are recognized, whose presence commands attention, and whose energy is valued. The key is to act decisively and calmly, reinforcing the principle that disrespect is not tolerated. This transforms your social interactions from reactive chaos into controlled influence, where others unconsciously adapt to your rules, not the other way around. Master this, and the world stops testing you. It starts respecting you. One of the most overlooked truths about respect is that it is not a reward. It is a response to perceived competence and strength. People are constantly assessing whether you are someone who can handle tension, maintain control, and enforce limits. Every small hesitation, overreaction, or attempt to please signals to the world that you're negotiable, uncertain, or weak. This is why so many good people struggle to earn respect. They focus on being liked instead of being clear. Clarity, decisiveness, and consistent enforcement of boundaries outweigh charm, niceness, or intelligence in almost every social scenario. A person who maintains composure under pressure, responds firmly without anger, and acts consistently over time communicates a level of reliability and dominance that is universally respected. It's not about intimidation. It's about psychological authority. Your actions must create a subtle sense of discomfort for anyone attempting to breach your boundaries, because discomfort triggers reassessment. People naturally recalibrate their behavior towards someone who is unshakable, not someone who negotiates or justifies. This doesn't require confrontation at every opportunity. It requires strategic responses at the right moments. The timing, tone, and decisiveness of your reaction convey far more than the words themselves. Once mastered, this principle transforms your interactions. People stop testing you because they have learned, consciously or unconsciously, that pushing boundaries has consequences. You no longer operate from fear, insecurity, or hope. You operate from certainty, and certainty in human interactions commands respect automatically. This principle is universal